YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Playbook Sports Podcast, Sunday night edition. We just got through today's Sunday games. Today's November 20th. We just finished the games. We figured, you know what, let's talk about some of these games. It's a pretty good week. Back in studio today, we got Downtown Safe. Brad.
What's up?
Welcome to town. Happy to have you here.
Happy to be back.
Winner for the Ravens. Ugly, but a win.
Hey, a win is a win.
Win is a win. It's the only stat that
Win is a
matters.
win.
It's the only statistic that matters.
It's the only one I care about.
And but if we're going to talk about big time statistics, let's go ahead and talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh.
Colin, what do you think about that fucking game?
Yeah, we're better than the Bills.
Yeah,
we're
ass
better than the
beating.
Vikings.
Yeah.
We're better than the Chiefs. By distributed property.
By
This
distributed
train-
property, yeah. Can't
This
argue
train
that.
cannot fucking be stopped.
That train's name is Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
He
Yes,
is the
sir.
train. He is the train. And running the ball. Quit making Dak throw the ball 40 times a game. Let's just run it 40 times a game. Nobody can stop him.
Let's get 4 tugs between the two backs and
Every
let's
single
just
week.
chill.
Yes, bingo.
I like it.
Unfortunately, since this was kind of a fly by the seat of our pants thing today, and we realized, well, with Thanksgiving coming up, we really don't have time for all four of us to get together right now. So, unfortunately, we do not have Opal here. Sorry about it, Miss Addison. Wish you could be here, buddy. But
Shout
you'll
out
be here.
Opal.
He'll be here tomorrow for the World Cup game. So we'll get him in here and
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. We'll see. You better be here. But let's just kind of glance at today's games, talk about some of the games, do a quick recap, look at Thursday's games, and go over our picks, which I have here. We just went through them. There's still 2 games. There's still Chargers-Chiefs tonight, and then Monday night, Niners-Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, pick record, I am once again in the lead. You guys are going to start figuring it out.
I'm not taking any more risks anymore after this week.
I'm 7-4 with 2 to go. I like that. I went 10-4 last week. Chance to be 9-4 this week. Very good. Addison with a solid bounce back week so far. He was 4-10 last week. This week he's 6-5 with 2 to go still.
Okay.
Colin kind of on pace for kind of another stinker, but still with 2 games, 4-7 right now.
Yep.
Excuse me. Sage last. What were you saying? Sorry.
You gotta stop taking these fraud home favorites. I mean, Giants, Broncos, what the hell?
Giants, Broncos, Vikings. You took all 3 of them. All 3 home
Well,
teams.
Cowboys suck, so.
No, they do not.
I like to
This
fade
is a
my
train
own
that can't be
This is the
stopped.
trend that they suck.
They stink.
They fucking stink. Sage, 6 wins last week, already 6 wins this week. So, worst case scenario, same amount as last week.
What I've learned is you can go nowhere but up when you start that low.
That's right.
So,
When you have a 4-12 week in moneyline picks, there's only up. It's the only way to go. Oh, that was fun. That was a good time. And then Bobby, kind of a rougher week this week. Last week 8-6. This week so far 4-7 with 2 to go still. We are all on Arizona, so we're either all getting it or we're all losing it. And then we've got, I think, a pretty good split for the Sunday night game. We do. Me and Addison on the Chargers, and then you two and Bobby on the Chiefs. So, and we got it at 6.5, which I love that spread.
let's go with it.
So, pretty good game so far. Let's just go ahead and dive into them. Bears, are they happy with this outcome if you're a Bears fan? Are you happy with this one? Because we keep hearing from our resident Bears fan, hey, lose close.
Look good, but lose.
Look good, but are they looking good? Like, yes, Justin Fields is going to run for 100 yards a game apparently. That's just something he's going to do, but he's only thrown for over 200 yards once, and he threw for 208.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I want to see the passing numbers too. I understand his weapons are subpar, but man, I mean, people are doing the same with subpar weapons. You know, they're
Yeah.
doing just as well.
Daniel Jones is doing better with almost no weapons. Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson has
No
Devin Duvernay.
weapons. No weapons. You got to start seeing something passing wise.
You gotta
in my
see some
opinion.
wins,
In my
too.
opinion. Yeah, some wins would be good. I mean, I know they don't want to, but no NFL player wants to lose a game. Like, the
Exactly.
fans may be okay with the loss, but the players don't want to lose. So they've got to be. They got to imagine they're trying to win.
It's one of the weirdest situations. I've never seen a team lose so much and the fans be so
Good with
excited
it.
for
So
the
good
future.
with it.
Okay with it, yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like, granted, yeah, you want a good draft position, but you guys have so much money next year. Like, you guys can do anything, anyways. Just get some wins,
Yep.
and that'll also give good experience for Fields. If he just gets used to losing, he's gonna learn how to lose.
Yep. Winning is a culture. You go to these big programs, you have winners from these big programs, and you don't want to develop a losing's okay mentality. You cannot have that. And I know, yeah, it's hard to say that because some teams are building for the future. And yes, the Bears have 120 million in cap space this offseason.
It is the most.
An insane amount of cap space
Almost
this
double
offseason.
the next person.
Yep, this
Yeah.
free agent class is meh. It's There's no great pass catchers in this one so far that I've seen. So I'm interested to see what they do.
They can
But
afford Lamar next year.
yeah, they could. They could. There you go.
Who says
Upgrade.
no?
Upgrade.
Replace one running back with another.
With an
That's a good trade.
Wow.
I can't pay him and Roquan, so.
True. That's true. That'll be
Got
tough.
Tyler Huntley.
There you go. But Falcons end up with so it was -3, so we just threw that game out, which is why we have an odd number of games this week because it pushed. It was even. We always want that hook. We didn't get it for
Vegas
this one.
wins.
Vegas wins, you all lose.
Good job.
Yeah,
you guys
well,
were fucking spot on.
yeah, nailed it with the -3 spread, you dickheads. There's the sports books just no. What was the one we were just talking about? The 43 final. Cowboys Vikings.
Cowboys Vikings live bet was 43.5 over under, and it finished 40-3.
40, yeah, with a 43. That's crazy. That is crazy. I still think the Falcons suck, but somehow they're 5-6. They're competing for that division.
They're a game behind.
Right? Are they? Let me check. They are half a game behind Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Tampa Bay's on a bye this week. So if Tampa Bay loses next week to whomever they play the Browns in Cleveland.
That might be it. That
Could be an L. Then all of a sudden we got a tie with the fucking Falcons. They play the last week. They play week 18 in Atlanta.
Might be for the division.
That could be for the division.
They play the Browns next week?
They play the Browns.
I had the Browns were on bye next week.
So they play them the 27th. Yeah, 7 days from now. Nope, Browns are still playing. Browns only played 10 games. Browns have one more, then they have a bye.
Gotcha.
They've played 10. They have to play 11 without
So
Deshaun.
it goes Tampa, bye, Deshaun, and Houston.
No, it goes no bye. They've already had their bye.
Cleveland?
Yeah, they had a bye on 2 weeks ago. They had a bye right before they played us, which is why it was even funnier that we beat the shit out of them.
Gotcha.
Because they had 2 weeks to
So they
prepare
have
for us.
no
bye for Deshaun
break,
Watson to
no
get
break.
ready. No, he's going to
Good.
have 7 days to be ready to
Good.
play. Yep. So yeah, they got Bucks,
Thumb to the dogs.
and then they go to Texans, and then he plays.
Gotcha. For some reason, I thought they had a bye.
I
after this
think,
game.
well, we talked about it. I think we said that they did, but yeah, I thought they did, but they do not. Nope, their bye's already out of the way. So Falcons, yeah, kind of surprising, but again, I don't think either team really is very well built with a roster at this point. So, Browns Bills, good game, 8-point game. Bills winning. And I didn't have a lot of hope for the Bills, honestly, knowing they're a way better team than the Browns. I didn't think that. I mean, they didn't have any time to practice this week. They haven't practiced since Wednesday. They flew to Detroit yesterday evening at 4 p.m. when their flight left Buffalo. That's crazy.
That's wild.
Then you show up and you play a game the next day, and they won.
They won.
Ugly game from
Did
Josh
not look
Allen
good
again.
in the first half.
No, Josh Allen 197 yards and a touchdown.
Stephon Diggs, I think he didn't have like
A target until he caught the touchdown pass in the end of the second quarter. He was bitching on the sideline.
I would be
yelling.
too. He's the best player on the team.
How are you not giving him the ball all the time? I don't know what's going on with Josh Allen per se, but their offense is lackluster right now with him. Like he's turning the ball over at a rate similar to his rookie season. They're not putting up the points you would expect. I mean, the last 3 games they've scored. I mean, they scored 30 points in 2 of their last 3 games. That's decent. But they lost to the Jets, lost to the Vikings at home, and then they beat the Browns by 8. But Jacoby Brissett outplayed Josh Allen by a mile.
Well, a lot of that is system. I mean, when you look at what's Josh Allen at the beginning of the season versus the past 3 games, he looks like a totally different player.
He really does.
And I don't know if it's the UCL or it's something in between the ears, but a combination of those is leading to teams like the Browns having a chance at the end of these games.
Yes, being in the game. Agreed. He's turning the ball over at a crazy high rate compared to where he was last year. I don't know. Someone said, I don't remember what show I was listening to, but someone was talking about, they were like, Josh Allen MVP candidate makes me think he's going to play like shit this year. The fact that everybody says this is his team, their year to win the Super Bowl, his year to win the MVP. They're like, that's just so much pressure to heap on him.
Yeah.
And they're right. That is a ton of pressure to heap on somebody. And I don't know how they've done in the playoffs recently. I know they lost to the Chiefs last year in their second game because the Bills beat the shit out of the Patriots. So I guess they just struggle in Arrowhead, which is fair. Everyone struggles there.
They do. They usually win a game. But granted, this is only the 3rd year Josh Allen has actually been good.
Yeah.
Do you remember his first year or two? Kind of dog shit.
It's terrible. It was terrible. I remember kind of shitting on him a little bit when they took Josh Allen because Mel Kiper was all about him, but he said he was like I can overlook the accuracy issues, but Mel Kiper couldn't overlook Lamar Jackson's accuracy issues. That pissed me off. I'm like, because I was all on the Lamar Jackson train. I've always been since I saw him play at Louisville. I said this guy's gonna be a stud, and then he said, Josh Allen should be a top 10 pick, but Lamar Jackson, I don't think I drafted him. I'm like, why? Why not?
I will say Josh Allen is on track for over 1,000 rushing yards this year.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild. He hasn't done that really since like his first or second year either. He's really fucking taking it. He's like, if I can't throw that well, I'll run through you.
Yeah, and he's got 483 rushing yards so far in the season, 71 carries. That's very solid. That's very solid running numbers. So Bills win a close one against the Browns in a weird week. I can't knock them too hard for winning this one because that's a tough one to kind of bounce around and play. Let's see what our next game will be is Eagles-Colts. What do you think about that one, Colin, as a Cowboys fan?
I look really good.
Yeah, I would too. I would too. No offense to the Colts.
Their run defense looked pretty poor, and honestly, their pass defense, from what we saw, it seemed like Pittman was underneath all day long.
All day long. Yeah.
I mean, they're truly lucky to come away with a win in that game. They should have lost.
Yes.
And it comes down to Indianapolis missed a field goal when they're up 13-3.
Yep.
Immediately, Philly marches touchdown, 13-10.
Yep.
Indianapolis field goal, 16-10. But if they make the first field goal, it's 19-10.
19-10, game over.
Game's over.
Yep, done.
Right? And then,
Yep.
Philly marches like we talked about earlier. We knew as soon as they stalled out and settled for 3 to make it 16-10, we knew Philly was going to march and just win it by 1.
Yep, said it on the Playbook Sports podcast Twitter account. I said, while Philly had the ball, I said, I quoted us, I said, if the Colts take a field goal here, they lose the game 17-16.
Yep.
And Philly hadn't scored yet, they were still driving. You can timestamp check if you want. It was still 16-10 Colts, but Philly scored and won 17-16. It was just guaranteed to happen. Philly has looked very, very beatable the last 2 weeks.
They have.
If you were all in on Philly, best team this year by far, if you were all in on that train, you should probably start looking at getting off because they have looked very poor, honestly.
Remind me a little bit of the 11-0 Steelers a few years ago.
Yes, a lot
Yeah.
like them.
It's like, you can only play who's in front of you, but when those teams start to catch up, like every team, they have players in the NFL for a reason.
Yep, they're gonna be good.
And if you give them enough to look at, they can come back at you.
Yeah. Losing by 11 on Monday night and just barely beating the Colts. Eagles have a tough stretch coming up here, where they play some good teams. They got, huh?
Do they?
They actually do. Well, if you count the Packers as a good team.
No.
I don't know if I do or not.
I can't say they're a bad team.
Me neither. I can't.
Because
Yeah.
they won.
True.
I can't say they're bad.
True. They got Packers, then they've got the Titans, then they go to the Giants, then they go to Chicago, then they go to Dallas, and then they host the Saints and host the Giants to finish the season. I mean, there's probably 3 losses in there. 2 or 3 losses.
They'll definitely beat the Bears by 3.
Yeah, by 3. Yep. And it'll be Bears will be +3, and they'll cover, or +2.5, they'll cover somehow. And, but, yeah. So, yeah, Eagles lucky to walk away with the win. Still 9-1, still first place in the NFL, especially after the Vikings just got absolutely bodied, which we'll get into after the rest of the
and on the Eagles topic, too, like we saw after the Vikings today, it's like the NFC looks wide open.
Wide
Oh
open.
my God.
Wide
open.
Which just means, and we all know it because it's inevitable, the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to come out of nowhere. They're going to win their division at 9-8, maybe 10-7, and then it's Tom Brady in the playoffs in a wide open NFC.
Which is scary.
Which worries me because guess what? Giants lose today, Cowboys win. Cowboys are the 5.
Yeah.
Guess who's the 4?
The Bucks.
Tampa Bay.
Yep.
So
enjoy the trip to Tampa.
It's almost one of those you want to lose and be the 6 and then play Seattle.
You guys played them week 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
You guys win?
Dallas.
In
No, we
Dallas.
got owned.
19-3.
Oh, really?
19-3.
Oh, I
So
remember.
Tampa still looked good.
Tampa looked really good. Yeah. The beginning of the year they looked solid.
God.
So that'll be something to keep an eye on. But yeah, with the NFC being as wide open as it is, it makes me really nervous that Tom Brady's going to do something over there, and I hate that because I hate him a lot.
Tom Brady, just everything falls his way
It
somehow.
does,
I have no
man.
idea how it happens every fucking year.
It seems like this year though is kind of taking a turn from that just a little bit. Team stinks. He blew up his family to play on his.
He's
crappy
undefeated
football
since
team.
the divorce.
That's true. 2-0 since
I
the
did
divorce.
see last night was the first time I saw this. Apparently Giselle was 2-timing him during the marriage.
Oh, wow.
I don't know the
Whoa.
the
Breaking
legitimacy.
news from Colin Seifert.
I don't know the
everybody.
legitimacy of these claims.
Was it you?
Apparently Giselle was getting some side action.
That was you, wasn't it? You
No,
son
it
of a
was
bitch.
Zach
Swear to
Wilson.
God.
Zach Wilson.
He
You
swooped
know
in.
he's about those
I saw that
women.
last night and I said, damn, no reason, no wonder Tom is 2-0 since.
Yeah, he's finally
He's
free.
getting it out.
I don't want to be home with some 2-timing slut. I
Yeah.
want to be out winning championships.
Winning games with the boys, because the boys won't cheat on me.
Bingo. The game of football has never done
The
anything.
game of football's never cheated on Tom
AB
Brady.
cheated on him.
AB did cheat on him. AB's an idiot. He posted the pictures of Tom trying to be a good friend. It's like he's trying to
Just
burn
trying
him.
to be a good
Literally
guy.
trying to be like, hey, listen, you're surrounding yourself with bad people. You should change that. And AB's like, oh, I'm gonna own him. Look at these texts. It's like, dude, you are fucking stupid.
Hate it.
Enjoy the asylum.
Yeah, he's headed right for one. Although I tell you what, there's probably a handful of NFL teams that'd be like, yeah, we'll take you right now.
I think about that.
Maybe both of your teams.
Ooh.
Yeah, how would you feel about that? If AB was like, hey, I'll come play for the Ravens right now, and it's AB still.
Can't do it. I can't
No?
do
Couldn't
it.
do it?
No. As much as I need a receiver,
Bad.
as much as I would love to have a receiver of his caliber,
Yep. Just too gross.
I also don't want that rubbing off on Lamar or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you don't want
know?
AB around him. AB will teach
He's
him
a
all
younger
bad
guy.
things.
I don't want anything. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders, but I
Yep.
just don't want that kind of thing in my locker room.
You don't want that around Lamar.
Miami
Yeah,
might want him instead of Sherfield and Wilson.
Yeah, I will probably. Although Sherfield's been solid.
Can you imagine Tyrese
Hey,
Waddle and
And Antonio Brown.
Hey,
Yeah, have
that'd
fun
be-
trying to stop that. They already can't stop the two in Trent Sherfield and River Craycraft, the Great White Hope.
Oh yeah,
But
great white hope.
I've said that a lot today. I shouldn't have gotten that in my head. But all right, let's move on to the worst game of the day by far. That actually ended probably the most exciting. The Jets and the Patriots.
Jesus
I
Christ.
tweeted out both teams deserve to lose. I stand by that. Neither team deserves a win for this game. They should have both been assigned a loss, and we should have moved on and just called the game. Because it was 3-3 with 10 seconds left in the game. Jets were punting it, playing, we'll play for overtime, we'll play for a tie, because that's what's coming. Because neither of us... The Jets averaged 2.77 inches per play in the second half. Yep. That is a real stat, people. 2.77 inches per play. 36 of those in a yard, by the way, if you give them 2.
10 yards and a first down.
10 yards for a first down, right.
So 360 inches for a first down.
Per play.
Zach Wilson ended with 77 yards for the whole game. No picks, though.
No, but he did throw one where the Patriots got hit him right in the chest.
Oh, it hit him right
like
there.
It
Yeah,
have
but I didn't see that.
Yeah, the Zach Wilson stinks. I saw Mike Greenberg tweeted. He said, "This is the game where I think Zach Wilson just lost the fan base."
Joe Flacco wins this game.
Yes, absolutely does.
I think Joe Flacco wins this game 9 times out of 10.
I think Joe Flacco beats the Patriots in the Jets too. Like when they came to New York.
Oh yeah.
I think he beats them both times because Joe Flacco is just a better quarterback.
And Joe Flacco always beats the Patriots.
Exactly.
That's what he does.
So let's just say we take away the 2 losses for the Jets against the Patriots. They're 7-1. Looking a whole lot better. Or no,
Only
no,
lost
I'm
against,
sorry. They would
against
be,
the Ravens.
They're 6-4. Give them 2 more. They'd be 8-2. Excuse me, 8-2. Still a lot better.
Agreed.
And that's because Zach Wilson is no good.
I would be happy.
I would not be surprised if the Bears go into New York and beat the Jets next week. That wouldn't shock me. Because the Bears' offense.
Bears' defense is so bad.
Right, but the Jets' offense is so bad.
But
It's 2 really shitty parts
the
playing
2
each other.
units fight and then the 2 shit units fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you've got 2 blind guys in a slap fight on this side and then 2 actual fighters duking it out.
I think the Jets' defense is going to stop the Bears enough to where Justin Fields, they're going to be like, oh, you can't run anymore? Who are you going to throw to?
Yeah, not throw the ball.
Oh, he's covered by Sauce.
Oh, he's
the
covered
other
by
guy?
DJ Reed.
Reader.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I still think I'd take the Jets next week.
Jets are only 4-point favorites. That might be kind of a lot for me. I don't know. We'll see. Jets look really bad today. Like, just really all-time bad today.
Like, do not touch
Like,
that.
don't ever touch. Yeah,
Like
77 yards,
years,
dude.
Jets bad.
77 yards passing on 22
That
attempts.
defense looks so good, though.
I know they do, but it is against Mac and Cheese and the Patriots' offense, which is terrible.
But they look good every week.
Yeah, that's true. They do look good every week. Their defense is legit.
I do wish Addison was here, our resident Bears fan on the podcast, because if you had to redraft the draft class at quarterback at least, who do you take first?
Trevor Lawrence still goes first.
You still take Lawrence
I still
first?
take Lawrence first. I still think he's got the tools to be the best.
Yeah.
But I take Justin Fields second, which is what I said draft day. I said Justin Fields is the second best quarterback in this class. Mac Jones is a product of the system. I don't think Zach Wilson's very good. I don't think Trey Lance is very good. He didn't play football that whole year. Fields is the second best quarterback in that class.
And Davis Mills is showing up.
And Davis Mills is, falling back to earth after magical. It was because he had such a long neck last year. He confused
He is
defense.
the second half wizard. When the team's down 20, he is the
Best quarterback. Yep, when they're already out of the game, he's the best. But that game sucked. Came down to a punt return touchdown as time expired. Crazy.
Props to him. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love seeing special teams today,
Fantastic.
but it was the only touchdown in the whole game with 5 seconds left.
5
What
seconds.
a snooze fest.
Horrible.
I was watching Red Zone and I was like, I don't think I've seen this game in a while.
Nope.
And there's a reason.
We frequently didn't even notice that. We had all 8 screens on like we do every single week, and someone would be like, hey, has anybody seen what's happening in the Patriots-Jets game? They're like, no, it's probably still 3-3. Oh, it's still 3-3. Okay, cool. Moving on.
If you bet no touchdown score anytime, you're in shambles.
You're devastated.
As soon as
that
that
happens. Devastated. I can't imagine what that would have paid out. I'd have cashed so fast. Like halftime, I'd have cashed.
It's one of those bets I don't know if they give you a cash.
Probably not, because they're so certain that it's going to happen. Yeah, weird
Ugly
game.
game.
2 bad teams offensively that can play defense. Next up, we've got the Rams going to the Saints. I think we can go ahead and declare the Los Angeles Rams dead.
Stick a fork in the
Dead in the water. Yeah, no A.
Yep.
DED, people. This team is terrible. Stafford out hurt, concussion. Hey, they rushed him back. He was in concussion protocol last week.
Yep.
Rushed him back this week. Seems like we should have. I want all of the fucking media to talk about that.
McVay was also kind of sidestepping the questions on the
Yeah,
podium.
he was
You noticed
avoiding
that?
it. Uh-huh.
So I don't know what that's about, but he clearly wasn't ready and
And didn't look ready.
had
Didn't look
Perkins
good.
do 5 for 10, 64 yards. Okay.
He played all right.
Need an NFL investigation into the
Yep,
the
I would-
Rams'
yep.
handling of
Yep.
Matt Stafford.
I want that neurosurgeon that they consult fired
Fired
because
guy.
he should not have been. He should have been allowed to play. I'll say it. No bias at all. But the Rams just have looked terrible all season. They're 3-7. They're dead. They're dead in the water. They go to Kansas City next weekend. So
Yikes.
let's just go ahead and mark them down at 3-8. And then they host the Seahawks, and then they host the Raiders, and then they go to the back.
Oh.
Then they play a bunch of shitters. Okay, they have a chance to be 9-8, but they're no good. They're not going to be because they're not good, and they don't have a first-round pick for probably 5 years. That's a joke.
They did win the Super Bowl, though.
They did, so it's worth it. Yep, I would
Absolutely
trade,
worth it.
I would say I'll be mediocre for the next 10 years if I get a Super Bowl. I would sign up for that right now if you put the paper in front
That's
of me.
basically what we did in 2012. We
Yeah.
were like, we won a Super Bowl, we'll give all our money to Joe Flacco,
Yeah.
not make a
And
team
we'll
for
just-
5 years,
We'll just really suck for a while.
and then we'll just get Lamar Jackson and come right back.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Sons
in
of
5
bitches.
years, mark it down. They're getting a good quarterback.
Another
in 5
good
years.
quarterback. Well, then that means Lamar's gone in 5 years.
No, they're not getting Lamar.
Oh, okay.
No, just the second coming of
The second.
They're getting
The
Mike
next
Vick
great.
Jr.
Sure, Mike Vick Jr. Jeez. Moving on. I still think the Saints stink, by the way. There's a lot about Rams who lost to the Saints. Saints still suck.
It's like you still just played the Rams.
Yeah, you still just played the Rams who are garbage. It was in New Orleans. Next up, Sage's Detroit Lions with a win in New York.
Guys, it feels nice to have two teams. You guys should
Travel
try
to
it.
the Giants. I do. My second team
I
is apparently
do.
the Commanders.
Because I do.
Colin's got 2 teams, Dolphins and Cowboys, baby.
Yeah,
His teams
they're
are
both
doing
pretty
good.
good.
Both teams
There
are
we
doing
go.
good. Detroit.
My team.
Yeah, tell us. Talk to us.
Oh my God, guys! If you're not watching Detroit football, you're not watching good
You're
football.
missing out.
All right, because every week they come out there and they play a game. Sometimes it looks like football.
Sometimes it looks
Sometimes
okay.
it was like grab ass.
Right. But this week, gosh, they went. No, it wasn't at Detroit. It was in the Meadowlands.
It was at New York.
They were playing in New York. Went down there and they're like, "Oh, you guys think you're big and bad? Let's show you what a 7-seed Detroit Lions team looks like." All right.
They're coming.
I gotta look at
Because Jamal
playoff
Williams, 3 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift even helped me out a little bit and scored one near the end.
Yeah, he did. Got his.
Got the
I know.
fourth.
Yeah, about
Got
fucking
his.
time.
Yeah, Jamal Williams is still in them all.
I'm so annoyed with Jamal Williams. I
Best
love the
RB
guy
in
to
the
death
league.
though. Huh?
Best RB in the league.
Yeah.
Best
12 tuds, dude.
Best goal line RB in the league.
Definitely.
How does he have 12 touchdowns?
I don't know. I
And
do
it's
not
just
know.
because Dan Campbell's like, this guy's emotional. I like him. I'll give him
Yeah.
all the touches he wants in
Give
the
him a
5-yard
shot
line.
and see what happens.
Exactly. Jamal Williams would never do this. to the
Rams are
Packers.
what? Or no, sorry. Lions are. If San Francisco, say San Francisco loses.
Yeah.
Just bear with me. Say they lose. Lions are a game back of the playoffs. If the Niners win, they're 2 games
God,
ahead.
That's
the Lions.
close.
I think it's their first time winning 3 games in 5 years.
They've won.
Since week 11
Yeah.
of 2017, I believe. And you know what?
Wow.
Wait, 4 games next week. Who are they playing? The Bills.
Bills.
Watch
Buffalo
the
Bills,
fuck out, Buffalo.
Bills.
You guys don't even know. They gotta play in Detroit 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, in Detroit. Yeah, Bills got to just. They should just stay in town. We don't know if they're going to or not, but they should if they're smart.
I'd rather them not.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. Fly all
'Cause
over the place.
I'm gonna need Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mr. Sun God himself, to go off on the
Mr.
Bills.
Sun God.
Hey, I love this man. I'm getting his jersey. If they make the playoffs, I'm getting his jersey, and I'm riding them all the way to the Super Bowl.
I love it.
I'm
Yeah.
so pumped.
Lions offense looked good. Giants kind of looked like a crappy team we all thought they were going to look like all season. Honestly, they starting to look a little lost.
This is who they are.
They won against the Texans last week by 8 in New York. Like I remember that game being actually a lot closer than it probably should be. And then they lost by 14 to the Seahawks the week before that. So they've lost 2 of their last 3 to the Seahawks and the Lions, with one of those being at home. They've got the Giants on Thanksgiving. Got the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. That's a L.
They'll win.
From our Cowboys fan. But yeah, Lions looked really solid today. Their running game improved as we knew it would be. Giants looked terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the second worst game of the day, Stage's other team, the Baltimore Ravens,
Yikes.
hosting the Carolina Panthers. This game was an absolute snooze fest as well. 3-3
Absolutely.
after 3 quarters. Where is the Ravens offense at?
You gotta ask Greg Roman. I'm telling you, I don't know why. I hate this man to death. And half the time I'm praising him, and half the time I want him fired. And I can't decide. But I was just watching this game just dumbfounded as to how our defense looks so good. Ever since the meltdown in Miami, our defense has been...
Miami.
I know, that's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that.
Meltdown in Miami, that's what I call it. It gives me nightmares.
The meltdown in Miami.
Ever
We
since
give you guys
then,
nightmares.
our defense has tightened up.
Yeah.
Roquan is coming on strong. Justin Houston decided he's going to play like he's 27.
Yeah, he's back.
It's insane. He's got like 9 or 10 sacks this year. He's like 3rd in the league in sacks. Absolutely crushing it this year. I'm so proud of him, his little bald ass head.
Ball ass head.
He came home.
And
Came home. What?
He came home.
Came home.
And Kyle Hamilton is coming on so strong since then.
Got hurt today. Did you see that?
He'll be
Is
back.
he okay? Is he okay?
It's
I honestly
not
didn't know.
too
I just
bad.
saw him down, so
It's
I didn't
not
know
too
how
bad.
bad it
They
was.
called him out for the rest of the game, but
Okay.
we're pretty deep at safety right now. And Marcus Williams is coming back pretty soon, so I'm excited about that.
There you go.
But Kyle Hamilton, I was watching him on the sideline. He was lined up right across from DJ Moore. It's like a third down, pretty important call near the end of the game, and he's calling out their plays. He's saying, "This is a screen to DJ Moore right here, guys. Right fucking here, DJ Moore screen."
Okay.
What do you know? It gets blown up.
Yep.
Kyle Hamilton cracks him, and then what do you know? Fourth down, punt.
Yeah.
Here we are again. I'm so excited about this defense. Roquan Smith is bringing it to a next level. We just have no motherfuckers to throw to.
Yeah, no offense. Like, you can't throw to anybody. I mean, when Demarcus Robinson is your leading receiver with 128 of Lamar's
He was
209
great.
passing yards.
I will say almost 3 or 4 of his catches were like toe drag swag catches on the sideline.
That's impressive.
I did not think were going to be completed.
Mark Andrews had a good comeback game, 6 for 63 on 8 targets. Like, he's obviously the offense. But then, yeah, Justice Hill was your third leading receiver with 8 yards. And then Kenyon Drake was 4th with 7.
Yikes.
I mean, there's just, that offense has got to get something going. Got to figure out offense. I mean, you guys have, like we've said, your schedule is not difficult the rest of the way.
Got the Jags,
Go to Jacksonville, host the Broncos, go to Pittsburgh, go to Cleveland, and then you host the Falcons and Steelers, and then end in Cincinnati.
Mhm.
Those are all very, very winnable games. Obviously, the divisional games are always tougher because they're divisional games. But, yeah, Ravens got to figure out the offense, get the passing game rolling. Can't have a game against the Carolina Panthers where you're like, oh, shit, are we going to lose this game?
Yeah. Hopefully we figure it out against Jacksonville next week.
Yes.
And
sure you will.
if
Jacksonville's
we
a
can
yeah,
get our
right team.
offense rolling like our defense right now,
Watch out.
that could be a number 1 seed right there.
Yeah.
If we don't lose again,
Yeah.
which is entirely possible.
Very possible with your schedule.
Makes me wish if we didn't have those 3 meltdowns at the beginning of the
three
year.
ugly ones.
Oh,
I'm really glad you guys had those ugly ones.
yeah.
At least one of those.
Yeah, just one of them, really. I wanted you guys to beat the Bills. I did.
Yeah, same.
Next up, we'll talk briefly on this one because there's kind of 2 teams that nobody cares about. Washington, except me, because I'm a good Washington guy.
Yeah.
Washington to Houston. Washington wins again.
Big Dan Snyder guy.
Big dance. I'm so canceled for that. Heineke didn't look great, but they didn't need him to look great. They just kicked field goals and ran the ball. Curtis Samuel rushing touchdown, a pick 6 on like the second pass of the game. Davis Mills was the leading rusher for Houston. Sorry, Damian Pierce. Don't think you exist anymore, pal. He did get suplexed.
It's true.
He did
Shout
get
out John
suplexed.
Ridgway, the Vanilla Gorilla.
Vanilla Gorilla.
Hey.
Apparently they're buddies. Yeah, Pierce had 10 carries, 8 yards. Yikes. That's bad.
How did
That's really
Burkhead
bad.
do?
Didn't get a touch.
Sounds about right. Who do they have?
Yeah, that
Literally didn't get. Chris Moore was their
Chris
only
Moore
other.
was the other.
right
He's a
back.
wide receiver. He's a wide receiver.
He used to play for the Ravens. Go you.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, Davis. Yeah, they only had 16 carries for 21 yards. That's so bad. That's so bad.
When you're trailing the Commanders, I guess you gotta throw it.
Yeah, true, because their defense is not supposed to. But then they were just getting sacks on him. Yeah, ugly game between 2 ugly teams. I'm really
Chase Young's
excited.
not even back yet.
I know. Their defensive line is nasty.
Yeah.
We knew that coming into the year.
It's a
Their
problem.
defensive line is nasty. Makes me excited to play Houston next week for Miami in Miami. That'll be a fun one. We're 11.5 point favorites as it is today. I will be taking that and the over. Next up, Raiders Broncos. Kind of a heartbreaker for our resident degenerate gambler, Colin.
I prefer sports investor.
Sports investor. Sorry, you're right. Sorry. 22-16. The Raiders get a big win over the Broncos, get themselves out of dead last in the division, and force the Broncos down there, which is where I had them at the beginning of the year. Both these teams are bad.
Tied for last.
Yeah, tied for last, just ahead of them on head-to-head. Both these teams stink. I mean, I don't know what else really to tell you. McDaniel won't get fired next year. Mark Davis said he's doing a fabulous job at 3-7.
Too much
Okay,
Jesus.
sure. It's because they literally can't afford to pay him and John Gruden, who they're still paying to be their head coach.
Yeah.
And then pay a third head coach. They have 3 head coaches on their payroll next year.
That's insane.
Should have kept.
That
Rich
might be a
Bisaccia.
record.
That would be right.
Pistachio would be.
Should have kept Bisaccia.
They'd
100%.
have at least 5 wins right
Yeah,
now.
I'd say 5-5, 5-6 would be right for them.
Yeah.
Yep. But McDaniels is safe, but Nathaniel Hackett is not safe. That offense continues to underperform. They've scored more than 19 twice. Once in a win over Jaguars, 21-17, and then once in a loss to the Raiders, 23-32, as the Raiders sweep the Broncos. That's embarrassing. Russell Wilson was worth a third of the contract he got. Maybe that.
Maybe.
Not
yeah.
even.
Maybe a third.
Who's the backup? Brent Rippin?
Yeah, Brett
Yeah.
Ripien, whatever you want to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
He should maybe
He
start getting
deserves-
some looks. I mean, you're 3-7. What do you have to lose?
I mean, you're paying
Russ a lot of money.
Russ a lot.
I mean, you can't bench him, obviously. Like the Packers can't bench Rodgers, even though he's good.
It's something. He's not on an injury report. Like, what's going on with
with Russ?
Well, yeah.
The offense just isn't good, man. And Nathaniel Hackett gave up play calling duties this week. I saw, so the OC was calling plays this week. Still only scored 16 points. So what's the problem?
Magic number.
Yeah, they can't score more. They just can't
points.
score points, dude. Looking at like statistics from this game, of course I just had it went away. Russ was 24 of 31, good completion percentage, but for 240 yards, no touchdowns. It's like that's just not going to get it done with the weapons he has. That's just not going to get it done. Like they have too many decent pass catchers.
So Kendall Hinton almost got a touchdown.
Yeah,
this
3
game.
for 57. He
that would
was
have been really nice. Put him in as quarterback.
Cortland Sutton, right? Yeah, you can do it. He's done it in the past.
He's done it once.
Their running game is poor. Yeah, that was horrible.
Technically, Lindsey started the game. I hate that.
Yeah.
Hinton did all he could.
Stupid. Yeah. So ugly game between two teams who both stink, and Broncos don't have a first-round pick. So Seattle's just grinning right now. They have the better quarterback, the better team, and the first-round pick. Thanks for losing. Let's lose out for them, Broncos.
Biggest fleece of the decade.
Yeah, unbelievable. And none of us thought that.
Mm-mm.
Hands up, I did not think that was going to happen. I was like, oh my god, the Seahawks are going to suck.
I made jokes saying Geno was going to be an MVP candidate before the season. And
right.
Now I'm like, haha, what
like
jokes? I was serious.
Top 15 for MVP, which is crazy.
I'll say one note from this game, Raiders win their first one-score game of the year.
Yeah.
They're 0-6 in a one-score game entering the day, and now they've won.
Good for
Only
them.
because I bet on the Broncos.
Because you bet on the Broncos. You talked about it. You said that was going to happen.
Before they even kicked the field goal, the tie to an OT. I
Yep.
said this is how it could happen.
Yep. We were in drop to our knees.
And they lost.
Brutal. But let's give you something happy to talk about. Next game up, Dallas Cowboys traveling to Minnesota. We said it. The sports books knew something. Because there's no way that you look at what each team did last week and say Cowboys are favored by 1.5. You can't do that unless you know something. I don't know what they know. I don't know what powers that be speak to them. But the Cowboys just lost to Green Bay, and the Vikings just went to Buffalo and beat them. And they say Cowboys are going to win this game. They were right by a lot. They should have made it a much bigger spread, apparently. Because Cowboys won 40-3. Colin, how are we feeling about? I mean, obviously the Cowboys are a train that can't be stopped. You know that.
But they also suck.
Also worst team in the league.
I mean, what did you think about that game? What are some takeaways from that? Obviously, I think the Vikings were always frauds. I've always thought that. They were not as good as their record indicated. But how do you feel about your Cowboys right now?
Great. I mean, me and Kevin, shout out Kevin. We got the defense going there in the garage.
Yep, well done.
First possession of the game. Vikings score the second possession of the game. Field goal. Don't score again.
Never found the end zone or field goal again.
That's extremely surprising. I'm surprised Justin Jefferson. Seeing what we saw last week.
Right.
I mean, he had 3 for 33 this week. Nothing.
Locked down by Trevon Diggs.
Really, it was mostly defense that I saw. Plus-wise, I mean, obviously the offense put up a 40-burger, but...
Micah Parsons with 2 sacks.
My defensive player of the year.
Sack, and he let one go, too.
Yeah, he did. He literally was touching chest with Kirk Cousins. Thought Kirk Cousins threw it and was looking for the ball. Kirk Cousins still had the ball, and then Kirk Cousins scrambled away.
I can't remember I think it was incomplete.
He spiked it in the dirt. He got scared.
Yeah.
I would be, too.
Yeah.
I'm shocked by the defensive play, and then obviously both running backs getting 2 tons of pop is, really a good formula for winning.
Yeah, Tony Pollard went crazy. 80 yards rushing, Elliott 42 yards rushing. I think he's just more explosive.
Yeah.
He just hits the holes better, and he just takes off. And then he had 109 receiving yards, which really broke my back in fantasy. Thanks for that.
From what I've heard, though, Elliott is just like the heart and soul of the team.
Yeah, he is. He's
so getting him touches, I do think
necessary. It's necessary.
Is super necessary.
Absolutely. And he's a good running back. Pollard just looks more explosive right now. There's nothing wrong with that.
15 years younger.
Yeah, just a lot younger and
I feel like Elliott's been in the league for like 20 years now.
Forever.
And I know he's only been in the league since like what, 2014, 2016?
16.
16? Jesus.
Yeah.
Huh.
We took him 1 pick ahead of Jalen Ramsey. I know, because I wanted Ramsey on draft night too.
Yeah,
but after Zeke's rookie year, I was
right, you're like, oh, rookie year,
yeah. Right. Oh my God, this guy's awesome. I'm gonna get his jersey immediately.
It's like, dang, we got Evan Smith again?
Yeah.
We did it again? Chargers just threw a 50-yard touchdown pass to Josh Palmer. Keenan Allen 1 for 17.
I benched Josh Palmer today.
Keenan Allen's actually playing. He's still.
I'm gonna win the Dynasty League matchup regardless, but I benched Palmer for Valdez Scaling because with Brown with Allen and Williams both back,
saying they're coming
he was
back.
projected like 6 points.
He's got all those reps.
Yeah.
Now he's like, you know what? I'm the guy.
I'm the guy. He's
I'm
the
taking over
the
for
burner.
both of them.
Got some sort of rhythm.
Right. Need something. Sorry, quick detour there. Sunday night game's going on. It just really started. Last game that we have seen today, Bengals traveling to Pittsburgh, high-scoring affair, which actually kind of breaks the mold of the classic AFC North games. Normally it's like 20-16. Some low-scoring game where you just hammer the under, you put your phone aside, you don't even worry about the bet because it's going to hit. Burrow looked good against the Steelers. He did have 2 picks. One of them to T.J. Watt, which was one of the most athletic plays I've ever seen. Crazy snag. But Burrow, 355 and 4 touchdowns. He's going to put up his numbers. He always does. No running game, and I don't know how hurt Mixon is.
Yeah.
That changes things.
Said concussion out for the game.
Okay, so concussion protocol.
Looks like Pirine does look good in the meantime, though.
Yeah, Pirine had 3 touchdowns, all of them receiving. That's crazy. Defense, though, giving up 30 points to the Steelers, a little bit suspect. Can't have that. Najee Harris was averaging like 2 yards a carry coming into this game. Today he ran 20 times, 90 yards, 4.5 yards a carry.
What a hurdle, though.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. And then 2 touchdowns for him. And George Pickens is a stud. I can't believe we let the Steelers get him in the 2nd round.
I also wanted him.
Devastating. Yeah. Oh, you guys
We
would fucking love
could
that
fucking
George
use him right
Pickens,
now.
man. Can't let him go. But
Instead,
I won't argue with your 1st-round picks ever.
Oh,
And you got Ojabo
Linderbaum
in the 2nd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you guys did just fine.
Ojabo comes back next week, hopefully.
Okay.
Next
He's
week.
gonna have
Did not
Gallup for
debut
first.
today.
There you go. That's a good deal. Lyle Gallup for 2
Yeah?
ones. 2 ones.
Oh,
probably.
okay. I'll
First
pass it
and
along
third.
to Costa.
Cedric Wilson for a 1st.
To
Come on.
Baltimore.
To Baltimore for a
Yeah,
1st.
sorry. We're stocked up. We got James Prochet and Devin
Devin
Duvernay.
Duvernay. Don't need anything.
What do you think we need?
Oh,
Odell called. We put him to voicemail.
Said, nah, we're good. We could touch on the Thursday night game. Really not a whole lot to say about the Thursday night
Strange.
game. Yeah, kind of an ugly game. Packers once again lose. Christian Watson's looking like a stud. 5 touchdowns in the last
Yes.
2 games. Looking good. Finally with a connection with Rodgers. Still lose the game, though. So that's all I had to say.
Pretty
about it.
handily,
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
This
by
is the
10.
first game I've seen Rodgers actually take ownership for a loss, though.
Yeah, he did.
Afterwards, he was kind of saying, like, yep, this one's on me. And he's not saying, like he did, what, on the McAfee show? Where he was like,
it's like,
oh,
yo,
yeah.
guys
some
gotta start getting benched, start
Yeah.
losing reps, not playing well. It's like, oh, okay, pal. You know, I did see a fun study today that ayahuasca can stay in your system for several months and can mess with your, like, cognition, like cognitive abilities. There's a study I saw on Twitter, so take it with a huge grain of salt.
So you're saying it's true.
So I'm saying it's 100% fact. If it's on the internet, ask the
If
truth.
it's
Can't
on
lie.
Twitter.
And if it's on Twitter,
It's a
especially.
fact.
Yeah, fact.
Listen, Elon Musk,
wouldn't
yeah.
allow
There was a
lies.
blue check next to it, so
Yep.
you know it's true.
They definitely didn't pay $8.
No.
But that's all the games from the week. Good week of football again. I'm already excited about next Sunday's games. But before we talk about, we're not going to talk about Sunday's games today because we're going to do that later in the week with the weird scheduling thing. That'll come out probably Saturday morning because we'll record it Friday.
Mhm.
But let's talk about the Thanksgiving games. A little bit of little turkey ball action here. There's 3 games per usual. I love it that they do it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Buffalo traveling to Detroit, although they're already there. The Giants traveling to Dallas, and New England traveling to Minnesota, which might be a closer game than some think. So we're going to do it a little differently for our picks this week. We're going to discuss the games and then make our picks. So let's talk about Buffalo at Detroit this week. Right now the line is Buffalo minus 9.5. That's a big spread for a road team. Buffalo has looked suspect the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. And how many did they win by today
8.
against the Browns?
They won by 8.
And I think it's hard to say because the Browns sometimes have just spurts of greatness.
Yeah, like against
With
the
their
Bengals
offense.
a couple weeks ago.
But I think the Lions' offense can get in a better rhythm than the Browns did.
I agree.
Especially with their air attack. Like, they've been throwing the ball pretty consistently, and if they get to the 5-yard line, Jamal Williams is getting a touchdown.
Yeah, 100%.
There it is.
Lock it in.
Lock it in every
Guaranteed.
single time.
He might be like minus like 250.
Yeah,
anytime
yeah.
tough.
He was actually the highest. I didn't take him in my parlay I had today because he was the worst odds. Like minus 125, I think. And I was like, I want plus on this, so no thanks.
Absolutely insane.
Should have taken it. Should have taken him for 3 touchdowns.
Every week.
Every single week,
touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. It's almost a lot.
And it'll end with 10 yards.
Yes.
But
He's
3
the new
touchdowns.
LeGarrette Blunt.
Yes.
God.
So the Lions have looked decent recently. Offense is kind of moving the ball again. You know, they've scored in their last, 4 games, 27, 15, 31, 31. So they're scoring, mid-20s to 30 points a game.
Kind of getting back
Buffalo's-
to early season.
Yep, a little bit back after a couple of stinkers in a row. The Bills, I just don't know about the Bills right now. Their numbers are so weird. Like, Josh Allen leads the league in picks. He leads the league in interceptions this year with 10.
Mhm.
He's the only one with double digits so far. He's their leading rusher, obviously. It's just tough for me to pick the Detroit Lions over the Bills. Even with, but the
You gotta believe in
9.5
yourself.
points. 9.5 points is a lot of points. What do you think, Colin?
And Detroit has played well. I know they played
close games.
The last couple of Thanksgivings they played the Bears, who I think have played Chase Daniel both times they've played the last 2 Thanksgivings. But it's been close. It's been Lions first half, Lions early third quarter, and then all of a sudden here come the Bears to come back and win. Which hurts me because a lot of my family are Bears fans, so I'm there suffering as the Bears come back and win as the Cowboys are immediately declining. This is a 3 o'clock window.
Yep.
I really like the Lions. I do with that 9.5.
You like the Lions?
Plus 9? We saw they give up 30 points to the Bears, last week. Which, say what you want, the Bears' offense has been kind of rolling. But the week before they gave up 9 to Green Bay, and this week they gave up 18 to
the Giants.
The Giants.
Yeah. Their defense is kind of clicking right now. Aiden Hutchinson had another pick today.
Yeah, he did get hurt again. I saw him limping.
He'll be back.
He might be back. He's a freak.
It's Thanksgiving in Detroit. His first Thanksgiving.
He's gotta play. He's gotta play. So you're Detroit minus 9.5 or plus 9.5.
Oh, I had Buffalo as my number 1 seed in our power rankings pretty much all year.
Well, but to be fair, 9.5 is a lot of points.
And I'm gonna sit here and give Detroit 9.5. I will do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll sucker into Detroit 9.5.
I'm not even gonna ask you, Sage. I'm just gonna go and give
you
Detroit the points.
You don't have to.
And I'm gonna take the
seed after this week.
And I'm gonna take Detroit the points too. At home, Buffalo's dealing with some weird weather shit where they're back and forth. No.
Are we all getting jerseys? Who do you want?
Well, I
might have to get a Jamal one. No,
Williams
has to get a Jamal one.
Yeah, Obo's gotta get a Jamal one.
Oh,
that makes sense.
I don't know.
I'm getting the same round.
I'll get a defensive player. NCDC.
I'll take a Jeff Okudah.
I like Okudah.
Just because he picked off field.
I'll take Hutchinson. Give me Aiden Hutchinson's jersey. That's a cool jersey.
I want Dan Campbell's original jersey, actually. I want his tight end jersey.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I would have loved to play ball with him. He'd have been so fun to be around. Okay, somehow a clean sweep for Detroit against the Bills. Wow.
That's how we do it.
That's awesome.
That's for you, Dan.
We'll text and get Addison and Bobby's Thursday game picks too. So it may not be a full clean sweep, but for the in studio, that's a sweep.
Yeah, and those picks won't be on the video record, but they'll be on the record.
Yeah,
we'll get those picks.
Yeah, yep, agreed. Next up, we've got the Giants traveling to Dallas. Dallas right now minus 7.5. Pretty good size spread, but they just beat the Minnesota Vikings by 37 points. The Cowboys are figuring it out. Their defense has been rock solid all season long. I've beat the door down for them and their defense. I've loved them all year. Micah Parsons is my defensive player of the year. He's at 10 sacks right now, which is fantastic. Guy's a stud. They're putting up points in bunches. 2 of their last 3 games, they've scored 49, 28, and 40.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy amount of points. I mean, they are just scoring.
They figured out their offense without Dak and then just put him in.
And then just said, hey, we'll just insert
which is
really talented quarterback.
Absolutely wild. And so smart. So credit to Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Except for the fourth quarter last week, but we won't talk about
that. Right, we don't talk about that one.
Hey, that was last week.
I will say the Vikings most
you're
points.
only as good as your last game, right?
Exactly, and right now they're pretty damn good.
The most points the Vikings had allowed in the game was 30 last week to the Bills in an overtime game. So you even have extra time there. And then before that it was the Eagles when the Eagles put up 24 against them. Or the Saints put up 25. So they're like a middle 20s allowing points.
Mm-hmm.
At home they just gave up 40 points to the Cowboys, whose defense held the Vikings to 3.
That might be the beating of the year.
That might be.
40
to 3. That's ugly. That's a team that had 1 loss. That was an 8-1 Minnesota Vikings team. That's insane.
They got cocky.
They did. They started feeling themselves. And the Giants just lost to the Lions. Yes, the Lions are solid.
Hungry.
They do. Cowboys look like they're ready.
They look like they're pissed after choking last week.
Yeah, they did.
They should be.
Good. They needed to bounce back.
They needed that hit.
And yeah, they did. They needed a little bit of a zap to the system. Get going again here because they were kind of rolling. Beat up on the Lions, beat up on the Bears. Packers were like, hey, hang on, you can't just coast to victories here. We're actually
Damn, we could have swept the North.
You could have swept the North in 4 straight
Son
weeks.
of a bitch.
That'd have been awesome. That'd have been sweet. Ooh. Right now, I'm making it 7.5. I'm taking Dallas.
I'm taking Dallas, especially with what I saw from New York today.
Yeah, New York looked bad and Dallas looked good.
Yeah. And Wandell's out, so that's another receiver to not worry about.
Yep. Colin, where are you going? You're the worst. You're the worst.
I'm taking the New York Football
Oh
Giants.
my God.
Because guess what? I don't know the exact numbers, so this is rough. But I don't think the Cowboys have covered 7 straight Thanksgiving home games.
Ooh, I don't like that stat.
They lost last year. Last year they got embarrassed to the Raiders.
Okay.
They got embarrassed to Rich Bisaccia in the.
That's because it was Rich Bisaccia, dude.
Yeah, he's a god.
He's a freak coach.
That's why the Packers beat you because he's their special.
Because he's on. Yeah,
he
exactly.
is. Something came in after that Amari Rodgers fumble loss.
Yep.
And on the special teams return.
Rich took over.
No, I'm taking the Giants. So Cowboys stink on Thanksgiving.
I actually hate you. So are you saying the Giants to outright win?
Give me the Giants money line.
Money line.
No,
Money line.
no, I'm kidding. Give me
I
the
gotta know what that money would be.
Give me
right
the
now.
7 plus 290.
Plus 310. Good guess.
Okay.
Good guess.
Yeah,
Impressive.
I'm a degenerate. Like earlier, I forget what spread. Maybe it was the Bills Lions.
Yeah.
8.5.
You said what is it?
like
8.5? It was 9.5. That's impressive. That's damn impressive.
No, the Cowboys stink on Thanksgiving. They'll choke. Next thing you know, you look up, you get your second helping of plate. You finally mustered up enough room in your stomach to go for round 2, and then you come back and the Cowboys are down, 16-0, and it's like, what the hell?
What the fuck happened?
And then all of a sudden you're driving home pissed off.
And you're driving home, hour-long drive home, just
Sounds
beating
a
your
little
steering
hard.
wheel. I feel like
Sounds
you've
like
done
rough
this a time or
times.
two.
Yeah, it sounds like it done like the last 5 years.
Oh,
But
yikes.
the Cowboys will win the game and the Giants will keep it close.
I like it. Last game on Thanksgiving, kind of an interesting one for these two teams. I don't know, did the Vikings always play on Thanksgiving? I don't
No.
think they do, no.
Just the Lions and Cowboys.
Okay, so Patriots traveling to Minnesota. Right now the line is Minnesota -3. Minnesota just got
Love it.
embarrassed on their home field by the Cowboys, and the Patriots just won the stinker of the year. The absolute toilet bowl of football games.
Yeah.
To push themselves into third place in the division and still in a playoff spot, where all AFC East teams currently reside. And if the Chiefs lose tonight, sidebar, Chiefs lose tonight, number 1 team in the AFC. I'll just give you a guess. Who do you think's number 1 team in the
Buffalo
AFC?
Bills?
Nope, good guess though. They're gonna be the best second place team in
New
the
York
division
Jets?
history.
If that happens,
I called it. Oh
You
my
did call
god! And when we go into Buffalo and win, I'm getting ass naked on here. You heard it here first.
We'll blur it.
We will
It'll
be
a
the
dot.
one-
We'll blur it. Yeah, that'll
he'll
be
be
blurred.
under the table, but
Yeah.
we'll be suffering.
And I will have no clothing on the
We'll
whole
be
time.
suffering.
That'll be a fun day for me. But New England going to Minnesota.
Being
Minnesota.
naked in front of a bunch of your friends is
Yep,
fun.
it's a great day. It's
Hey,
a great day.
if you're
I'll wear a
celebrating-
towel. I'll wear a towel. I'll sit here and towel.
Washcloth, a little
Yep.
loincloth.
Yeah, just a little loincloth with a string tied around it.
Right.
Caveman style. I don't think New England's any good. I think Dallas, is up here and New England's down here. I think New England is very somehow lucky to be 6-4. They don't deserve it.
I don't know how
Got
they did that.
embarrassed by the Bears. They just get embarrassed by good teams, and Minnesota is still a good team.
Still
I'm not
good.
going to let the recency bias of today's ass whipping change that. Minnesota still went into Buffalo and won. Last week I let the recency bias for that make me put them at number 2 in my power rankings, which was fair. They probably won't crack my top 5 now, if I did one right now.
They got fucking
Not after
destroyed.
that.
They got
Yeah.
absolutely destroyed at home.
But there is something to be said about getting so mad about that.
Yes, that's why I'm taking Minnesota -3,
Mhm.
like the pen in the ear, because they can't lose another one at home. They just can't. You can't lose to Dallas that bad, and then have 4 days to be pissed off about it. Take the chains off of Kirko chains. Take the chains off, Kirk. Time to buckle down, play a little football. It is also going to be a primetime game again, though.
And a night game.
And a night game.
Ooh.
That's like his kryptonite. But 3 points, they're a good enough team to get past Kirk's struggles and just win this game handily. So I'm going to take the home team, which means I'm taking all 3 home teams, which means bet all your money on the road teams, because clearly I'm not going to be right on all
At
of
least
them.
on that 3 o'clock window.
But give me the Vikings -3. I'm curious to see where this line ends up right before the game. I want to see where the money's coming in at.
At 5.
Yeah, probably going to
Yeah.
push it towards Vikings, because everyone's like, oh, 3's not enough. The Patriots are bad. Sage, where you going?
Yeah, I'm also gonna roll with the Vikings.
Oh my god, I've got 3 picks with Fade Brown. No!
Listen,
Shit!
you can't expect me to ever just blindly go with New England.
I know, that'd be a foolish thing to do.
I mean, it'd probably be a smart thing to do 5 years ago.
True. Yeah, not now.
But
not anymore.
no, it's not Tom Brady. It's Mac and maybe Zappy.
Maybe Zappy, who knows?
Who
If
knows?
Mac throws a pick, he's benched probably. And we'll see Bailey Zappy again.
I love Bailey Zappy.
He's a fighter. He's spicy.
That's what they love.
He's he's
Those
spicy.
Boston people, they don't care about how good you are. They just want you to fight someone on the field. And if
Yep.
Bailey Zappy, that's my bold prediction of the week, right?
Oh, okay.
Bailey Zappy is gonna curb stomp Anthony Barr and
On the field.
on the field.
Yep. Put him down and curb stomp his
The
ass.
funny thing about Anthony Barr is he's actually on the Cowboys.
Wow.
Wow.
That was
He's
embarrassing
dating
yourself.
Unfortunately, unless
Embarrassing.
he's meeting him out in the parking lot.
Meaning after the game, Anthony Barr's there.
All
It's
right, he's
Thanksgiving.
going to find Harrison
Oh,
Smith.
but the
Oh,
Cowboys
it was
play.
Anthony Barr revenge game today.
Yeah, it
That's why I
was.
take
Oh,
Minnesota.
Of course the Cowboys won big. It's Anthony Barr's
Oh no,
return.
an outside backer that plays like 40% of snaps was returning
It's
today.
his revenge game. Oh, I would have thrown everything on you
He
guys
stinks.
if I knew that. He stinks. Colin, who you taking in this one?
Oh, I'm taking Minnesota.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
I heard
That's smart.
Cowboys and stinks, and I thought we were still talking about Dallas.
Yeah, Minnesota.
I'll take
for
Minnesota.
sure.
I mean, they got to bounce back. They're at home. What is the Patriots' offense? I
Good
mean,
question.
their defense
Ramondre
is good enough.
Stevenson and
Their
Damian
defense
Harris.
is good enough to keep them in it. You know,
Yeah.
Minnesota looked pretty fucking bad today
Yes,
offensively.
they
So
did.
you
But
never
the Cowboys'
know.
defense is so much better than the Patriots' defense. So much
Yeah,
better
talent-wise,
than the Patriots'
positionally,
Yeah.
but coaching-wise, I don't know. You still gotta give the Patriots their due.
I don't know,
Yes,
Dan
guess
Quinn is
coaching-wise.
pretty fucking
Yeah,
great.
Dan
He's
Quinn
quite
up with that
awesome.
backwards hat in the booth, man. That's pretty fucking
Dude.
scary. You
Yeah.
don't want to see him on a sideline as a head coach. You want
No.
to see him with that backwards hat in the booth as a DC.
Oh, Josh Palmer just got hurt. That's devastating.
Mention the dynasty.
Keenan Allen going off.
Yeah, right.
He's already on the pitch
He's
count.
probably already holding his handy somewhere, walking onto the field.
He's on a bike somewhere.
He's on a, yeah, he's riding the bike.
From kickoff, you went from 100 to like 90%, 95%.
He's like, I'm
He's like,
done.
guys, gotta get to 100%.
It's not good enough. I can't
You
go.
gotta be
I can't
100%.
go. You guys such a pussy. I might just cut him out of principle.
I almost cut Waller 'cause he's on IR.
Oh yeah.
But
I
then
almost
again,
cut
like,
Kareem Hunt.
Huh?
our fantasy playoffs start in about 4 weeks, or a little less than 4 weeks. So it was like, if Waller comes back and someone picks him
Might
up
as
and
well.
balls,
Yeah,
Not
then
even
you
on
feel
my
foolish.
radar.
Then I'll be
No.
over the needle for collusion for dropping
You
up.
would. I gotta start colluding with people.
Last time I fucking take Aaron Waller. Last time I take a tight end in the top
Yeah,
5
same,
rounds.
same. George Kittle's been a real bummer for me most
I'll
of the
just
year.
feed him some bullshit tight
Yep,
ends.
let's
I
stream
have
them in
Hayden-
defenses.
I have Hayden Hurst right
Mhm.
now, tight end, who probably was undrafted in
Definitely
80% of
Absolutely.
leagues.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As far as because this was just kind of like the Thanksgiving special episode, I really don't have a whole
Yeah.
lot more for us for tonight. We don't have any other material. This was again just like a fly by the seat of our pants. Like, yeah, we're gonna recap today's games, talk about them a little bit, look at Thursday's games, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Friday we'll be coming back at you guys with discussion about Thursday's games, what we saw, how badly the Cowboys beat the Giants' ass, and maybe talk a little NBA again on Friday.
Hell yeah.
So we say you can get in on the conversation. Did you watch our mock draft? Did you watch that
I'm
yet?
pumped. Yeah.
It was
yeah.
pretty good. I
I'm
like
super
their
pumped.
teams. I like their teams.
Dude, I'm so excited about my Celtics this year.
They're looking good.
Oh, we're looking good. We're so mad.
Yeah.
We're so mad.
Coming off a tough finals loss, although the Warriors look like shit, so that's good. Although they're beating the Rockets right now by 5, so
Mm, no.
who knows? What's gonna happen there? Are the Celtics playing today? No, they're off.
No.
Should have done a fantasy basketball league. What are we doing?
Oh, we should have. I got
Oh.
a few years ago.
It's
Those are fun.
It's hard to keep up with.
It is very hard every single day. You gotta set your lineup weeks in
It
advance.
is very hard to keep up with.
Yeah. All right, we're just rambling. That's all we've got for you guys today. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the Thanksgiving games, and prepare to come back with us on Friday, Saturday for some NBA talk and looking ahead to next week's games.
Yeah.
Anything to add from either of you gentlemen? Nothing?
No, just
No.
enjoy Thanksgiving football.
Yes,
eat
happy
lots.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep.
Eat lots, gamble responsibly, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks a lot.
How about 'em?